ADHD is a very misunderstood disorder. Many thinking it's a learning disability or that it means that they're lazy or stupid. I've heard from many members of our community that they have even been told these things by teachers or parents while they were growing up. It's just terrible. But the truth is that ADHD isn't any of those things, but it can cause motivation issues for us, which is why today I want to talk about procrastination and ADHD. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kati Morton and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I talk about depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and really anything mental health related. So if you'd like to subscribe, we would love to have you. I promise you will always leave with some helpful information for you or for someone you love. And subscribing really helps creators keep doing what we do. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. First, it's important to understand what procrastination is. And procrastination itself is an avoidance behavior, right? We're putting something off. We're procrastinating on it, probably because we either don't want to do it, it seems overwhelming, or we just don't feel motivated. Those of us with ADHD can have issues with motivation, and it can even be painful to break through that to actually do the thing we need to. And so it's not necessarily that those of us with ADHD are procrastinating. It's the fact that we're lacking the motivation because the thing that we're putting off is something that we find to be tedious or uninteresting. And if it was interesting to us, we wouldn't have issues with that motivation at all. And I've talked about this in the past, but those of us with ADHD are like heat-seeking missiles for dopamine because our brains, if you don't know, not to get too nerdy with it, but our brains don't have enough dopamine transporters to carry our dopamine to its final destination where we feel rewarded. Because if you don't know, dopamine is like that feel-good chemical in our brain that feeds that reward system, which is why when we get accolades at work or maybe, purchase something exciting, we feel rewarded, we get excited. That's dopamine doing all that feel-good work. Those of us with ADHD have dopamine. We just don't have enough of these transporters to get it to where it needs to go, so we're not getting that hit. This video is sponsored by Fabulous, the #1 self-care app to help you build better habits and achieve your goals. I think we all struggle with procrastination from time to time. And if we have ADHD, it can be incredibly hard to motivate, which is why I'm excited about today's sponsor, Fabulous. Fabulous is the #1 self-care app to help you build better habits and achieve your goals. It's based on behavioral science and breaks down science-backed daily routines into smaller steps so that they're achievable and, most importantly, something that we can stick to. It helps you learn to create rituals that help propel you toward your goals and participate in challenges that will build motivation and awareness along the way. It started off small by having me drink water and eat breakfast every day. But as I've continued to utilize the app, I've been able to use it to support so much more than that. Like right now, I'm working my way through a coaching series called Procrastinate No Longer. And it's really helped me recognize the times I've been procrastinating because I'm expecting something to turn out perfect. And how that actually robs me of any enjoyment. It makes it harder for me to want to do something like that again. It's like I get stuck in this unhealthy cycle. And it's great because it also offers some helpful insights and ways I can reward myself for each step along the way. Each portion of the coaching is just about 2 minutes long, so I can easily just pop in my headphones and check in. And if I need connection from others working on this too, there's Fabulous Circles, where I can chat with people from all over the world. It's been incredibly helpful in motivating myself to check in more and to do some small things each day to help improve my mood. Use the Fabulous app to start building your ideal daily routine. The first 100 people who click on the link will get 25% off a Fabulous subscription. Thanks again to Fabulous for sponsoring this video. It's because of people like them that I can keep creating content like this. You might be wondering, well, Kati, why am I able to focus on certain things and not on others? Well, there are natural ways to drive our motivation. And in ADHD treatment, they focus on these 4 factors that help drive this. And the first is novelty, something new and interesting, right? The second is interest. Like I said at the beginning, if we find something engaging, we want to do it. There's no issue with motivation there. The third is urgency. A lot of my friends with ADHD will say, I work really well under pressure. And if I have a deadline, I will meet that deadline, right? That urgency pushes us to be motivated. And the fourth is degree of challenge. If we feel that something is like pushing us to do something a little bit better or learn a little bit more. It's just a little bit more difficult. We can rise to the occasion and feel motivated enough to start the project or do the thing that maybe we didn't know if we could do. And this could be to blame in a good way for why we're able to get certain things accomplished, right? Like why we can study for that test the day before we have it, or why we can finish that project right before it's due. But procrastination, right? This procrastination versus ADHD. So procrastination, on the other hand, is more of a defense mechanism for when a task feels overwhelming, difficult, or unpleasant. If we don't have any other ways to address this task, we can just avoid it. But that avoidance can lead to higher levels of stress or anxiety. So we can wonder, why do I keep putting things off when it's bad for me? It just only makes me feel worse. Well, it's because stress and anxiety aren't motivating factors. We need to break down the task into smaller, more manageable tasks, and then reward ourselves for completing them. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people find themselves procrastinating. A huge one is anxiety, right? If even engaging with that thing makes me feel overcome with worry, I'm not going to want to do it. Or there can be fear of failure, right? I'm so concerned about how people are going to perceive me or that it's not going to go well, right? If I already have almost like a negative self-talk and negative belief about myself, I'm going to think or assume everything's going to go wrong. And so if everything's going to go wrong, why even start? Why would I want to try to do that thing, right? I might put it off and put it off and put it off, procrastinate, so that I can, in my mind, put off that failure. Another is that the reward is just too far out. If we can't see the reward, again, because remember, those of us with ADHD have dopamine, but we don't have enough of those transmitters, so we're not feeling that hit, that reward. So if the reward is too far out for us, we really just don't see the benefit, and it can be really hard for us to motivate to do anything. The next is perfectionism. I've struggled with this in my life. If I can't do something 100%, I don't want to do it at all. But spoilers, a lot of things in our life can't be done 100%. And so that concern over it being perfect and having to have all the time to do it just right, it can prevent us from ever engaging with something. Again, because it's going to immediately feel overwhelming. Another reason we can procrastinate is we have a difficulty seeing ourselves in the future. And when I was reading about this, my therapist brain automatically jumped to depression. If we're struggling with a positive outlook on life and all we see is just everything going wrong, right? Or we have no hope for the future, or, we're so caught up in the moment, it's like hard for us to think about ourselves tomorrow. It's going to be really difficult to motivate for something or motivate towards something that takes a little time to put together. Another reason we can procrastinate is lack of energy. If we aren't taking care of our basic needs, if we're not getting good sleep, eating enough, drinking enough water, we're not going to feel the energy needed to start a new task. I think we all would agree that that first effort that we have to put out to get something new going, it takes a little extra oomph. And if we don't have that oomph, we're not going to want to start it. And there's a lot of other reasons we can procrastinate, but that's just a few to get you thinking about where it may be coming from for you. It's going to be incredibly helpful to figure out what feeds your procrastination. Like, of the things I mentioned, were there a few that you're like, yeah, that's me? Like for me, it used to be perfectionism. Now I'd say sometimes it's lack of energy, right? As I've been honest about, like, I struggle with work-life balance sometimes. And so the thought of starting something new can just feel exhausting already. But just being honest with yourself about what you think feeds it for you. What is preventing you from starting these new projects? Or why is it that you're putting something off? And there's going to be other reasons, right? I just named a couple of them, but just think about it. Where is it coming from? Because if we don't know what's causing it, we're not going to be able to overcome it. So let's say it is lack of energy, like I'm speaking to myself, then something I could do is I could take some action, right? Do some behaviors like focusing on making sure I'm getting enough sleep, making sure that I'm eating properly every 3 to 4 hours, drinking enough water, taking the weekends off, right? There can be these specific actions that I can slowly put into place. Don't put them all in place at once, because then I'll feel overwhelmed, right? But there are some small changes we can make to help us work toward a more productive and less procrastinating type of person. And it's slow and steady, right? It's a process, it's not perfection, because we don't want to get ourselves caught where we put all of these new behaviors on ourselves. Oh, I need to change this and this and this and this and this and this. Then again, we're going to run into that same problem where we want to procrastinate the self-care. So make it small and manageable. There's a ton of psychological research to support the fact that our to-do list shouldn't be longer than 7 things. That's why phone numbers without the area code are 7 digits long. It's what we're able to hold in our brain at one time. So that's just a little tip from me to you to help you kind of minimize how many things you're expecting out of yourself each day, because that overwhelm, again, could be leading to that procrastination. And also make sure those 7 things aren't things that need days and days and days to complete. We need these 7 small to-dos to be things we can accomplish in one day. And that's really helped me stay motivated and jump into that, like, oh, I need to do that thing. It's helped me get moving, because it's often that first hump that's the hardest to get over, right? It's the starting that's the hardest. And once we get that ball rolling, we can usually move forward and keep being productive at the level that we need to be. So take some time to consider where it's coming from for you, because ADHD does not mean that we are lazy or that we procrastinate. It means we struggle with motivation because we don't have those dopamine transmitters, right? And so we might need to trick ourselves into using those 4 factors, remember, like novelty and urgency. We might need to set some timers for ourselves or set some deadlines to keep us going forward. We might need to take breaks to do something that's a little bit interesting, right? We have to figure out where it's coming from for us and what behaviors we can change to help get us out of this cycle of procrastination, because I think it's something we all struggle with from time to time. But I would love to hear from you. Are there certain tips and tricks and things that you do to help yourself get started and stop procrastinating? Leave those in the comments down below. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.